What's up everybody, it's Sean here, back today to give you a review of the JJJJound New Balance 740 in this beige colorway. When it comes to sneaker preservation, one of the most common words of advice is to wear and rotate pairs within your collection. But even if you do that, that's not going to stop your shoes from yellowing over time. What if I told you there's a science-based solution that helps prevent your shoes from yellowing when they're in between wears? Well, that exists, and that product is called Capsule. Capsule is the ultimate sneaker preservation system, and it looks like this. This is how you store your shoes in when you're not wearing them, and by keeping it in this airtight UV protected pod, and then by injecting the secret sauce, which comes in the form of a cartridge, directly into this pod. By utilizing the power of science, this helps prevent your shoes from showing signs of age, from turning yellow, and from crumbling over time. So Capsule is a product that's deeply rooted in science, and I'll link their socials, their website down below. And on their website, you can read up more about the product, more about the science behind it, and learn why just rotating your shoes just by itself is not going to do the trick. And by implementing Capsule into the way you store your shoes, this ensures that your shoes are going to stay looking fresh, stay looking new for longer. So again, check out Capsule, links are down below. So this right here is the latest collaboration between JJJJound and New Balance, this time working together on the 740 silhouette. So this collaboration released on July 30th, and they retailed for $130 US or $190 here in Canada, which is honestly a pretty affordable number when you compare it to the high prices that New Balance charges for their made in USA and made in UK models. Obviously though, this is not made in those two places, this silhouette is made in Asia. But it leaves us with the question, with the lower price point, does it actually reflect lower quality in the shoe? Well, stay tuned, we'll talk about that later on in this video. So according to the JJJJound website, they call this the beige colorway, but officially on the New Balance website, the colorway is paper white and stone wear. And the product code for this shoe is U740N8M2. So a little background information, the New Balance 740 is actually an older model from their archives. It was once a performance running shoe that released around the year 2010. But then back in 2024, the brand re-released this shoe with a brand new tooling, swapping out the old midsole that had energy technology for a full-length absorbed foam midsole. So this model now is obviously marketed as a casual lifestyle model, and they've ditched all the previous association that the silhouette used to have as a running shoe. So like most JJJJound New Balance collaborations, the box mimics the simplicity of the shoe itself. So we have a white-based cardboard box with New Balance branding on the top, and then on the sides we have JJJJound branding. Here's a look at the size label. And then there's the New Balance logo on the back. As far as the shoe goes, diving into the details, the upper of this pair is crafted out of an engineered mesh, and this is done in this dark beige, almost brown color. So you can see this mesh is pretty tightly wound together. We have this fuse overlay towards the laces where you'll see the New Balance N logo. And then surrounding the front toe cap, as well as overlaid on the medial side, we have more of these fuse layers, which gives the shoe a little bit more durability and more structure. We have these woven eyelets in the middle, and it's again surrounded by more of that TPU fuse material. And then underneath this, we have the New Balance N logo. This is done in a synthetic material, not genuine leather or suede. Underneath this, we have more of that engineered mesh, along with more fuse overlays. And then on the lateral side of the heel, we have JJJJound branding. Underneath this, the layer here kind of has like a canvas-like feel to the touch. This is also featured on the bottom of the heel. Above this, we have New Balance branding, and it's surrounded by more of those fuse layers on top. In terms of laces, this pair only comes with one lace option, and they're an oval-shaped cream-colored lace. Underneath this, we have a cream-colored mesh tongue. We have a TPU layer running down the center, along with another woven strip which helps to hold the laces in place. And then on the top of the tongue, you'll find both 740 and New Balance branding. The back of the tongue and the interior of the shoe, this is covered in a very dark blue, almost black colored mesh liner. And then for the insoles, these come with your typical foam-lined insoles, and then pressed onto the heel, we have this white colored JJJJound branding. So the upper of the 740 sits atop this foam midsole, which is crafted out of New Balance's Absorb technology. We have this red colored hit on the lateral side, which gives you that Absorb branding. And then turning the shoe over to the bottom, the outsole here is crafted primarily out of black rubber. In the middle, instead of a TPU shank plate, for this 740, I guess because of budget reasons maybe, they incorporate just another rubber layer here, which wraps up a little bit onto the midsole. And then we have these 3 cord areas on the heel, exposing this blue foam right above. So that breaks down the look and the construction of this shoe. For those wondering about how these fit, so in my case, I'm a true size 10. My feet are a little bit on the wider side though, but in the past, I've gotten a size 10 in the 740 in other colorways no problem. But for this version, which New Balance is calling the 740N because of the no-sew upper, and with the panels on the upper just being different fuse or TPU overlays instead of actual stitched panels, this 740N, I felt like it ran more snug than normal. So getting these in my true size, they still fit me, but I could feel a little bit of pressure around the toe box area, specifically where my pinky toes and where my big toes are. So I feel like if you have a narrow, normal, or even a slightly wide foot and you like more of that snug one-to-one fit, go true to size. But if you have like a really wide foot, I'd recommend going up half a size over and above what you normally would buy for made in Asia New Balance shoes. So to give you guys a point of comparison, this is a size 10. I also wear a size 10 in the 860 V2, 1906R, 2002R, and some of the made in UK models like the 1500 and 991 V2. In comparison, I usually go a half size down to a 9.5 in a lot of the made in US models like most of the 990 series, 992, and 993. So long story short, comparing this specific shoe to any other 1906R or 2002R that I have in my collection, these I felt ran a little bit more snug. Moving on to the comfort of this shoe. So these are pretty basic underfoot. It's still decently comfortable, but it's way below something like a 993, any of the 990 series, 991 V2, and even made in Asia models like the 1906R, 860 V2, 2010, 9060. I feel like all those silhouettes feel a little bit more comfortable for different reasons compared to this. Wearing these ones, they feel pretty firm underfoot. There's really not too much bounce, not too much softness. One thing I like about the silhouette though is that it is very lightweight, so that's great. But because of the narrow fit along with the relatively firm feel underfoot, I would say this is pretty low on my list when it comes to overall comfort. So to answer that question I asked in the beginning, yes, the price point of this is significantly lower than a typical made in US or made in UK New Balance shoe, but I think it's really noticeable the difference in terms of the fit and especially the comfort between this model and those ones, that I personally feel like paying that higher price point for those ones are a lot more justified than paying for something like this. Finally, in terms of the quality and the craftsmanship, so first off, material quality on this shoe was nothing special. It's just a mesh layer on the base with a ton of TPU layers on top, so it has a very strong synthetic feel to it. Nothing about this shoe screams that it's high quality or premium materials. The build of the shoe though I thought was fine. I'll give them that. There was nothing flawed on my shoe, the panels were symmetrical, and everything seemed to be well put together. It's just the lack of quality in terms of the materials really stand out, especially when you compare it to all the other past JJJJound New Balance collaborations. So with all that out of the way now, let me toss these on feet, I'll lace them up, and I'll show you guys how these look. When it comes to the colorway, this beige or mushroom colorway is basically synonymous with JJJJound and New Balance projects. So that's my favorite part about this shoe. The colorway is nice. It lines up very well next to all my other mushroom New Balance JJJJound collabs. But I think aside from the colorway and the sleek look of this shoe, which I thought was pretty nice, I wasn't a huge fan of the materials and I wasn't a huge fan of the comfort and fit. So if you struck out on these at the retail level, I would probably not recommend that you pay secondary market prices for these. This to me is a retail only pickup, and I think there's far better shoes out there. If you're asking me, is it gonna be worth picking this up on GOAT or StockX or something like that? I'd probably recommend you to pick up something else instead. But I know I'm sounding very negative right now, don't get me wrong. I'm just trying to be straight up with you about what's good and what's bad. I still think this is a very clean looking sneaker, and considering the price point, I'm not gonna be afraid to really wear these in and beat them up, even though they're supposed to be more of a limited collaboration. So leave your thoughts down below, let me know what do you guys think about this JJJJound and New Balance 740 in this beige or mushroom colorway. What are your overall thoughts on this pair? Did you pick these up? And if you have them in hand, leave a comment down below on what you think now that you have them in person. And as always, if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. I'll link my social media accounts down below, so check out my links and give me a follow there too. And as always, thanks for watching, thanks for your support, and I'll catch you all in my next review.